We are going to be tying up some pink spawn bags. I know they look orange in the camera, but they're pink netting. The pink thread that I have isn't really stretch anymore, so we're just going to be using white. Before I get too far into this, just want to let everybody know that I do now have like a page on Facebook. It's the same name as it is on here. So if you just go to Facebook and type in Tightline Fanatic, it'll bring up the page. Had somebody ask already. Somebody asked me in person when I was fishing. Somebody actually recognized me, so pretty happy about that. Almost makes you feel like you're making it, you know. So yeah, I'm just gonna be tying up some pink spawn bags. One thing that I do, I'll give you a little trick. When I tie my spawn bags up after I cut it and clip it, I stick it in a container with paper towel on the bottom. It soaks up any extra juice that's on there. Because I do tie these up for my local tackle shop. I help them out and I tie them up for them. I put them in these little bags, and any little extra moisture that's in there, I kind of get all slimy and gross in the bags. But yeah, I tie these up for my local tackle shop. It's like a block away. Really good friends with them. East End Angler in Erie, Pennsylvania. If anybody's up this way and comes out this way to fish, check them out. Kurt and Lynn are the owners. Great people, and he'll put you on the fish. So just gonna be winging up some bags. Not gonna be another 2.5 hour live. I'm gonna say that right now. That I've been doing lives on Facebook with my buddy. He's been tying flies and I've been tying spawn bags. That's kind of how it keeps myself busy as I'm doing it. 2.5 hours. I got like an hour in me tonight. Oh. But last week I tied up 1,105 spawn bags. And I do work a full-time job, so that was literally between by the time I got home from work and finished dinner. So say roughly 6 o'clock to 8:30. Like 5 days last week, so whatever that equals out to, 13, 14 hours, whatever. And that's with BS and too, not just dead straight getting them done. 1,100 spawn bags. It's crazy. So we're gonna get started here. When I tie my spawn bags, I use a spoon. You can use your fingers. I don't want my fingers to get all yucky and gross, then I'm touching all my equipment. Then I gotta wash it more than I want to. Scissors, you got thread, net, eggs. That's all it is. So let's take some eggs, depending on the size. These are coho eggs. They're plump. Sometimes if I have some smaller eggs like Steelhead skein scrape, obviously I'll put more than 5 eggs in there, and then I'll wrap it like 4 times to get that extra netting out of there. And then I just tie 2 overhand knots, and then I clip it. I know there is other thread out there that you can just wrap it 4 or 5 times. It cinches itself down, and you just snap it off, and that's it. This is just the thread that I have available for me. Should have grabbed a bag to throw all these clippings in. Give me 1 second. got a grocery bag to throw all our clippings in rather than tossing them all on the table. Easier cleanup. Oh, hello, Brittany. All right. Let's make some bags. One thing I do that might be different from other people too is when I put my eggs in there, I pull the netting up tight so the eggs aren't all loose in the bag. I don't know. I feel like it presents a little better. Everybody's got their own opinions though. But I did manage to get out fishing today. Had a day off of work. Fiance got the son off the bus, so it was a great day. It was slow at first. There was a lot more fish than I expected there to be with us not having any rain. We were predicted rain like 10 days out of the last 2 weeks, and I think total we got like 3/10 of an inch in the last 2 weeks. I mean, some creeks definitely got it better than the others, but overall we're really struggling with rain right now. I'm not even gonna BS. There was a couple pools on a creek I fished today that had over 100 fish in them, just because there's no flow, so they couldn't make it up to the next waterfall. All our slow pools are like stagnant water. I mean, our slow pools are slow. But there was a lot of fish moving through the fast water today. I think I landed, I went 3 for 4 on the lower section, and I went like 2 for 5 on the upper section. I don't know what was going on later in the day. I got it all on GoPro. I lost like 3 fish, 3 casts in a row. I just couldn't keep them pinned. So, guys, make sure you stay tuned. Hopefully, I'm gonna get that video edited up by the weekend, along with trying to tie another 1,000 egg sacks. He's selling a lot of egg sacks down at the shop, so do my best to try to help him out. For everybody that's just tuning in, talking fishing, tying up some spawn bags for Erie Steelhead. Tied up 1,105 bags last week. Not for personal use. Tied them up for the bait shop right by my house, East End Angler here in Erie, PA. But yeah, back to today. So I ended up buying some cured single eggs. They're firm, so you can put your hook right through them and fish single egg. Basically the same thing that people imitate with their fly rod. And I had one fish take the single egg, and I fished single egg for probably 45 minutes. And I was fishing a little bit faster current when I first got there. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it was just too small and the current was just a little too quick for them to see it. They just didn't want it. I don't know. No idea what was going on. So I ended up switching to spawn sacks, and it was like 2 minutes later, boom, fish on, and it was kind of cool. I met a guy down there. I met him at the bait shop yesterday, but I got to fish with him a little bit today. He's a guide in our area. Just moved up to our area. Really cool guy. So I fished with him for a little bit, and put the spawn sack on. Boom, fish on. I mean, it was like within 4 or 5 drifts. Landed that fish. Went right back up to where I caught it. Tried a different color because I just want to see if it was color specific bite or if they just wanted whatever smacked them in the face. And it was like 10 drifts later, hooked another one. I was like, okay, starting to figure something out here. So even though the water was clear and low, they still wanted the spawn bags. So I was like, all right. And after I landed that fish, I went back, was fishing the same fish, and I think they started to get what was going on. So I fished them for like another 10 minutes, didn't get any bites, so I ended up moving down probably like 20, 30 feet. There was another little pot of fish and some flow there sitting along some shale. And changed up spawn bag colors a couple times. I tried single eggs, nothing, and then all I did was slide my float up like 5 inches because I noticed my bag was going just above the fish. It wasn't quite in their face. Moved my float up like 5 inches. First drift, literally it just got to the first fish, boom, fish on. I was like, well, okay. So that's pretty cool. Fished there for probably another, I don't know, half hour or so. Nothing else. Me and the gentleman that I met, we walked down the creek to see if we could find any fish, and we found fish, but there was 27 cars in the parking lot when I got there this morning, and 27 cars in the parking lot on a low, clear creek. Not good. So we went down below. I found some pods of fish. There was probably 20 fish stacked up against this one wall, like 4 guys fishing it. So I didn't even try. I just kind of let it go. Kept walking down. There was fish like single scattered all throughout the creek. And then I get down to the mouth. And this creek, the mouth used to be shallow. It was like this deep. Well, 2 years ago we had a really big storm, and there's some like big boulders there. Well, it carved it out, and it's still carved out this year. It did not fill in with silt this summer, which was kind of crazy. And that hole is probably 5-6 feet deep. And the gentleman I was fishing with, he's like, there's a lot of fish in here. He's like, I can see him. And I was like, yeah, there's probably some fish in here. I walk up on these boulders, and I look down. I have my GoPro on. I don't know if you could see through the water or not. I'll try when I edit the video. I'll try to do it as best I can. I'm not joking you. There was probably like 200 fish in this hole. They were spread out, 30, 40 feet from end to beginning. But where I was concentrated fishing, there was probably 75 fish just sitting there. And I was like, oh my, this is game on. Let's go. I drifted those fish for like a half an hour. I went single eggs, jigs, spawn bags, beads. I could not get one bite. I think I had one tap it, but I don't know if it smacked it with its tail. Those fish didn't want anything. And that water was so slow moving that it would definitely made it challenging. So fished those for a while, no luck. So instead of wasting my time, because by then it was probably 1:30 in the afternoon, I moved back up creek, fished a little bit as I went up. Those gentlemen left those pot of fish that were on the wall. I mean, they were catching them pretty good, so those fish already knew what was going on, and I fished them for probably 15 minutes, nothing. So I just continued my walk up. So I made it up to the bridge at the main road, and seen some guys fishing there along the bridge, and I knew there was fish up. There's a really big hole up there. I'm sure once everybody sees the video, they'll know where it's at. But I'm gonna be one of those guys and not say it. But there will be some people that know exactly where it's at as soon as I post a video. But got up probably 200 yards from the main road. There's a really big deep hole there. It actually filled in a lot. Last year was probably 8 foot deep. This year maybe 4 to 5, 5.5 maybe in the beginning, like in the middle of it. It filled in a lot. The heavy rains we got this past summer, when the creek came up, it really changed it a lot. Fished those fish for a while. probably 15, 20 minutes, and I'm not a slow water person, and my float was just sitting in one spot. It might have moved like 4 inches in like 30 seconds, and it was like, that's not my type of fishing. So I went up, I moved up to the top of the hole where it's flow. It's like, I don't know, maybe a foot and a half, 2 foot deep at max, shale run, that then flows into that flow. Well, there was probably 15 fish sitting on the shale run. And I met another pretty cool guy. He was there. He had one on a stringer. I'm fishing this flow. Literally, I pitch it in, first drift, boom, fish on. I was like, wow, here we go. Found it. Landed that fish. Didn't have my GoPro on because I was like running low on SD card space, unfortunately. And I was like, oh man. I was like, all right, if I get another one after that one, then I'll turn the GoPro on. Next drift, boom, banged another one. I was like, all right, GoPro's on. Turn the GoPro on. You think I get it white in the next 10 minutes? Nope. So I end up switching up spawn bag colors, and the gentleman that was across the creek, he walked up. Well, he came walking back down, and I offered, to let him fish a run with me, so he didn't have to fish that big pool, because he had a fly rod, and like a big slow pool with no flow with a fly rod is pretty miserable. So me and him are chit chatting, we're drifting, and all of a sudden I see this fish come out from the shale, and I don't know, this fish was probably 28, 29 inches long, like this big around. I was like, that's a big fish. I said, that fish might be 30 inches. I mean, it was a real big steelhead. So we're sitting there drifting. I think I missed like 2 or 3. Did not get a good hook set on them. And so I'm sitting there with my line out of the water, switching up my bag color. Next thing you know, he sets a hook. He caught that big one. And so I set my pole down, I grabbed my net, and I was like, I'll net it for you if you want. He had neck surgery, so he said he wasn't even supposed to be fishing, but so I offered, to net it for him. I get the fish in the net, and if I had to guess, I'd say that fish was probably 30 inches. Probably went at least 10 pounds. I mean, this fish was massive. It made all the other ones look tiny. He had a hen on his stringer that was probably mid-20s, and this fish probably had 8 inches on. I mean, this fish was huge. So he asked me to take a picture of it, so I did, and I took a picture of it. I was like, all right, yeah, no problem. And super nice guy. I wish everybody that I shared my runs with and that I met on the creek was that nice, but it doesn't always work out like that. So he's sitting there talking on the phone. While he's talking on the phone, and I know I got this on GoPro, within like 10 drifts, I hooked 3 fish, lost all 3 of them. I don't know what was going on. I was like, it's got to be the hook. I'd never used Daiichi hooks before, and this is not saying anything bad about the company, because obviously I caught fish on them earlier in the day. I thought that maybe I got a snag or something, and it maybe busted the tip of the hook off or something. Looked at the hook, perfectly fine. I said, well, I'm going to switch it out. So I tied on a new hook. I was like, all right, shouldn't have a problem. Pitch it back in there. Literally, just float goes down, set the hook. Fish jumps out of the water, spits the hook. And I was like, yeah, it happens. The next drift, boom, fish on, spits a hook. And I'm like, I don't know. It was very frustrating. Very frustrating. If I would have hooked and landed all the fish that I hooked on the upper part of the stream, I probably would have landed, I don't know, 9 fish today instead of the 5 that I did. But, I mean, there was good fish up there. But they're all just sitting in this big pool just waiting for rain. They're just waiting for the rain. We're forecasted to get rain Thursday through Sunday. And it's probably not going to happen because Mother Nature's got a grudge against us for some reason. But there is fish in our streams. They're very, very pressured right now, but there's definitely fish, and I'm not gonna lie and say there's not. So hopefully we get that shot of rain this weekend, and it's more than just a mist. Actually do something, get these fish moving where they need to go. We have a stream on the east side here of the county, and then there's a stream on the west side, and then these creeks are fishable areas miles, like miles were the fishable area. So hopefully we get some rain and can get them up to where they need to go. We'll see. But from the amount of fish that I've seen on the creeks today, we get some rain and get those fish moving, it's going to be a phenomenal year. And I noticed the quality, like the size quality of our fish this year are a lot bigger, to me at least, than it seemed like last year. I mean, one of the hens I caught today was probably 7.5 pounds. I mean, I know some places that's not big, but a 7.5 pound hen, that's a pretty big hen. So on another note, got in contact with the local bait shop that I'm tying these for. Got some new waders ordered. I've had the same frog dogs for like, actually I have 2 pairs of frog dogs. I've had them for like, I've had the one pair for probably like 3 years. They leaked a month after I got them. And then I was gifted another pair last year, I believe. I was gifted a pair, and they leaked about 5 months after I got them. So I'm going to try. Okay, what are the name of those? I can't remember the name of them now. Paramount waders. I'm gonna go with the Deep Eddy Z, the zipper ones. If they don't have those in stock, then I'm just gonna get the regular ones without the zipper. I did do some research. Honestly, I wish I did, but I don't have the money to go spend $700 on a pair of Sims. I mean, that's crazy money. Especially when eventually they're all just gonna leak. Especially where I fish, walking through some of the spots you have to walk through brush to get to fish. So we'll see how they go. A buddy of mine has had a pair of the Paramounts, and he liked them. He said they were super comfortable. In my opinion, these frog dogs are not very comfortable, but at the price point, you're not really looking for comfortability. You're just trying to stay dry. To be honest with you, you don't stay dry very long. I'm sure there's some people that have had their frog dogs for years and years and years and never had a problem with them, but it just didn't work out for me. So super excited to get those. Do a little review on them for anybody that's thinking about possibly getting a pair. I'm going to be getting a new pair of wading boots too. I'm going to get the corkers. Get a pair of corkers. Everybody I know that has a pair of corkers, they love them. The ones I'm looking at have like the interchangeable soles, so you can do like felt to rubber or felt to studded. You just pop the sole out. I've heard some things, like some people losing the soles, like they just come undone. But I mean, to be honest with you, it ain't that bad to just go buy a pair of another soles, rather than having a pair of wading boots like I do now that, the felt is glued to the bottom. And last year, one of my felts ripped off, and now it's just like slick like a cowboy boot underneath. So I've already fallen fallen on my butt like 3 times this year. Almost fell like 20 times today. So excited. Long overdue. Hopefully they last me. I know there's a lot of guys that use neoprene waders. I use the same pair of waders for steelhead in the winter and stock trout in the spring. And I do not feel like standing in a creek when it's 60, 70 degrees outside in the spring, sweating my butt off. So I just got regular breathables. It's nothing for me to wear warmer clothes underneath. So yeah, that's what we got going on around here. Me and my fiance are going up to try for some salmon and browns on the 28th and 29th. We're going to be going up to Olcott, fish Burt. I might go try to fish Oak Orchard too. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. I know Burt's going to be absolutely packed. Not my style of fishing, but nothing I can do about it. I want one king. That's my goal. One king. I'll settle for a giant brown. I've seen some reports from some pages I follow. They just got a huge, not huge, but they just got a big push of really big browns at Burt. So I don't know if the cohos are coming in yet. That'd be pretty sick to catch one of those too. We don't get those around here very often. We don't get very many salmon at all here on the Erie tributaries in Pennsylvania. But for some reason this year, all these pink salmon came out of nowhere. Nobody knows where they came from. Nobody knows why they all showed up at once. I caught a pink salmon in the middle of September while I was scouting for some early season steelhead. I was like, man, this is awesome. Like, felt like the bee's knees. Like, yeah, I'm the guy. I got a pink salmon. And it was within 4 days. There was like 30 other pink salmon caught. And I was like, something's not right here. Because on the Erie trips here in Pennsylvania, if you hear of 2 pink salmon caught a year, it's like, holy crap. Like, and everybody wants to fish there. And now almost every one of our streams this year has pink salmon in it. Even our, we have a stream out on the west side of the county, Trout Run. It's nursery waters. You're not allowed to fish in the creek. The Fish Commission, they net the fish out, and they take them for the milk and the eggs, and that's how they get our smolts. And there's probably 5 or 6 pink salmon in there right now. So nobody knows where they came from. Nobody knows why they're here, but it's definitely raising a lot of attention for our area, which could be good for business revenue and hotels and bait shops and stuff like that. So but yeah, so I did catch a pink salmon this year. I got it on video on my phone, and the video quality is terrible. Don't know what happened, don't know why it's crappy, but it's crappy. So unfortunately that's not going to get posted because it's not even worth it. But who knows, maybe we'll get some rain. We'll have a chance to catch another one before they end up spawning out and dying. But it'd be cool. It'd be cool if these pink salmon, started running around here and gave us something else to look forward to catching. I mean, we rarely get kings around here. If you hear one king caught around here, it's crazy. But they do show up sometimes, so they show up to the creek that they were born in. So who knows? Anybody watching got any questions or anything? Figured I'd just get on here and chit chat. A little update on little update on our fishing conditions here, which are not great, but we're making do. Was going to use my center pin today. Still haven't caught a fish on that brand new Fish USA flagship rod. Should have brought it out, but just had fun on the spinning rod today. Trying out the new reel. When I bought that, when I did that live the day I got that flagship rod, I said they were doing like a promo that day that came with a free. You buy the flagship rod, it came with a free Akuma Avenger. Not a super expensive reel, but held up pretty good today. No issues. Like I mentioned earlier, I do a lot of Facebook Live videos. I'm gonna try to start doing more live videos on here. Obviously, we have the ability to do it on my phone, so I think it'd be pretty cool to do a live video while I'm fishing. I mean, that'd be pretty sick. I'd have to figure out some way to set my phone up, or somehow maybe get some way to hold it on my body. My fiance did find a like a tripod that'll work for a GoPro, and it has like a phone holder mount. So that'd be pretty cool. Do a little live video while I'm on the creek fishing. Honestly, as low and clear as our creeks are, thought about getting my boat back out. Go for them fall walleyes. Them walleyes are hungry. They're hungry and they're trying to fatten up. The only thing is this time of year, Lake Erie's rough more often than not. Of course, it wasn't that rough today, but it comes to be the fall around here. The lake's pretty unpredictable. For anybody that's just tuning in, I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I do have a Facebook page now for this. It is the same name that I have on here, so just go to Facebook, go to the search bar and type in Tightline Fanatic, and you'll find the page. It's the same picture, same like main profile picture on Facebook that it is on here, so give you a little help to find it. Hopefully soon we're gonna try to start figuring some things out, getting some designs and stuff going. Hopefully soon get some merch out. It's a whole new ball game when you actually got to come up with designs. It's like difficult. I got in touch with one of our local fly tires. He just came out with some really sick hoodies, and I asked him how he came up with his design, and he said that he has a graphic designer that he's going to get me in touch with, so that's pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. Get some hoodies rolling, some shirts. What's up, Hooked? Couldn't join me tonight. You missed it. Had a pretty good day fishing today. Still pretty crappy conditions, but had a pretty good day. Ended up helping out a gentleman, letting him fish next to me, and within 5 minutes of him fishing next to me, he catches the fish that I was trying to catch for like half hour, 45 minutes. Nice fish, probably, I don't know, I'm going to say it was around 30 inches, at least 10 pounds, if not more. Big, real big fish. There's definitely fish out there. They're just spooked. Said busy at work. It's all good. I was just telling the people that we do live videos on Facebook. So I'm going to start doing, instead of doing them on my personal page, I'm going to start doing them under my Tightline Fanatic page. My goal, I think I'm going to try to do a live video a week on YouTube. Kind of give the people updates on our conditions, how the season's going so far. Oh, hopefully I don't spill these eggs. I did find one dried up egg on the floor. Don't tell the fiance, even though she's watching. Yeah, at least I didn't run it over with the chair and mash it in the carpet. Then we would have really had a problem. Yes, sir. I'm upset they took mine down. Yeah, it is pretty crappy. They keep taking our videos down, but I'm gonna stop doing them on my personal page and start doing them on my Tightline Fanatic page. We got 5 people in here now. That's cool. Let's go. But yeah, I had a pretty banner day. Even though it was low and clear, egg sacks were doing a trick. Anybody that's just tuning in, tying up egg sacks from my local bait shop here in Erie, PA. If you guys ever come up this way to fish, stop here in Harbor Creek. Bait shop's called East End Angler. Owned by Kurt and Lynn, husband and wife. Great people. I've known them for like 15 years. Kurt will definitely get you set up with what you need and get you on the water. But that's where these are going. Don't have very mine tied up because I've been too busy talking. But last week I did 1,105 egg sacks. And I do work a full-time job, like I said earlier. So that was about 2 hours. 2 hours a night. I only did them for like 5 days last week. 2.5 hours. So I think I probably had like 12, 13 hours in total through the whole week. And I did 1,100 egg sacks. I just don't know what's going on tonight. I just keep tying them too close to the other one. They keep wanting to pop out. We did not drop any eggs on the floor. Yes, we did. Don't tell her. Don't tell the boss. She's gonna wring my neck. Oh, found it. We're good. Whew. Suckers get quite stinky when they dry up, or when you smash them in the carpet. Doesn't do well. Then you gotta call a carpet cleaner place. I don't care what they say. You're a carpet cleaner at your house, you ain't gonna get that smell out. It might, but it'll linger. Dang, just hit a deer. Not good. Last time I hit a deer was not good for my truck. But thank God I had full coverage with no deductible. Dropped my truck off, fixed it, had it back in like 4 days. But the only mistake I made was I did not have a rental car. So thank goodness we have 2 vehicles. Really hoping we get this rain this weekend. That's all I can say. The center pin's crying. Once used. Can't use it in low clear water. Well, you can, but I don't like fishing slow water, like I already said. Oh, Hooked, if you're still watching, remember that fanny pack that I bid it on eBay that the guy had a reserve on? Yeah, guess what? I won, didn't meet the reserve, took it down. He put it right back up. So I messaged him. I said, hey, this is what I'll give you for it. And he messaged me back and says, well, I lowered the price on the reserve, so it's around what your max bid was last time. And I was like, listen, I want the bag now. I don't want to wait 9 days for your auction to go through. I'm like, I messaged him. I said, this is what I'll give you. Change it to buy it now. Put this price. I will buy it right now. It wasn't even 3 minutes. He changed it to buy it now. Scooped. About that. So now I can officially have all my fly fishing stuff in my sling pack. Because that sling pack, as you know, Hooked, weighs like 20 pounds, if not more, with all my stuff in there. And this muscle right here does not feel good. So I'm going to have all my fly fishing stuff in one bag. And then I'm going to put all my spinning and pin stuff in the fanny pack. So basically it's just going to be hook leader shot, you know, some beads. That's about it. Got enough room. It's got water bottle pack on it because, you know, I never bring anything to drink when I'm fishing, and then like 2 hours in I'm like dying of thirst. So yeah, pretty excited. That pack should be in before I go up to Ontario. What is going on with these eggs? What'd you say? Watching you tie and I hit a G are just my luck. That's why you don't play on your phone while you're driving, Hooked. I'm only saying this because I know him personally. Three people watching. Anybody got any questions, any comments? You guys fish Erie tribs? Anybody on here watching know anything about Ontario tribs, like up in New York, Oswego, Olcott, Burt Dam? Going 2 weeks. I'll take all the help I can get. I'm a noob up there. I'll be that guy that everybody gets pissed off at because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. I think after I'm done with this video, I'm gonna do the rain dance. That's what I'm gonna do. I need rain so bad here in Erie, PA. So bad. All the rain we've been getting, the trees have just been soaking it up. I mean, we got rain a lot towards the end of summer, like some big rains, and then it was dry. Basically, all September we got like no rain. The ground was so dry that when we started getting rain that we needed to get the steelhead to run, the ground just soaked it right up. Unfortunately. Oh, we got a comment. Just subscribe to you, brother. I'm laying here getting ready to go to sleep for work. Yes, sir. I was at Olcott Pier. Brother and I caught 2 salmon and he caught 6 browns. Wow, that's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. That kind of gets me a little excited, for sure. I'm not gonna lie. I was up there like 2 years ago with a guy I met. I met him at the creek. We kind of got to chit chat and exchange numbers. I fished with him for a while, and then he literally just like fell off the face of the earth. His number was disconnected and blah blah. So, anyways, I went up there fishing with him, and he's like, "This is where we gotta go." So first, he took me to Oak Orchard. We fished the dam. You had to fish sideways and cast like this because everybody was so close together. And I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. I was like, is there any spots down below we could fish? He's like, nope, this is the place. And I was like, yeah, this ain't for me, dude. So we fished there like 3 hours. And so then I drove to Burt Dam. And it was crowded, but it wasn't as crowded. So we kind of got our way up in the pack and had no idea what I was doing. I was asking people around me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not saying everybody up there is like this, but these guys were rude, and I was just like, I felt lost because fishing here in Erie and fishing up there for the Kings and the Browns, it's completely different. Like here, we fish light tippet, all that stuff. Up there, these guys are running like 10, 15-pound leaders, big shot, giant hooks. I'm like, I was just so out of my element. So I've been watching some videos, joined a couple of groups on Facebook. So hopefully I'm a little more prepared this time. My fiance has to work a Friday night, so I'm going up the 28th and 29th of this month. So like a week from this coming weekend. So she's got to work Friday night, so we're gonna leave early Saturday morning. Hopefully we can find a spot. I want one king. I don't want a zombie fish either, but I understand that they're probably not going to be super fresh. But I want one king, and if I can catch a giant brown, that's a bonus. If I don't catch anything Saturday, we're staying till Sunday. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That was Friday and Saturday casting spoons, and my brother using sacks. Yeah. So on glow spoons. Oh, okay. We use spoons here in the Erie Tribs in Pennsylvania. When the fish aren't quite in the creek yet, but they're all staged outside the mouth, we use spoons and we cast in the lake, stuff like that. But one question I got, so the egg sacs we use here, they're a little bit smaller. These ones are kind of small. When they use egg sacs up there, how big are they? Are they like massive? Is it king eggs inside the sack? Or is it skein, like skein sacks? And roughly how big are they? So I can kind of get prepared. I'm going to try to find a local tackle shop up there. I understand they're probably not going to tell me everything that I want to know or need to know. But try to get a little bit of insight from them. If you know any tackle shops up there, let me know so I could stop and kind of chit-chat a little bit. I'm not just going to milk them for information. I'm definitely going to buy some stuff. I was just curious if they're like king sacks or if they're like skein sacks. And I appreciate the sub very much. I'm just trying to get all the info I can to try to be as prepared as I can. I plan on taking my center pin. The rod that it's on is for Erie Steelhead, so I don't know. Them Kings might give it a run for its money, but it's got a warranty, so if I break it, I'll just go to Fish USA and they'll be like, here you go, here's your new one. And I will be taking a spinning rod with me. I don't know. I don't really know. What size mainline should I use on my spinning rod? 8 pound, 10 pound? Some guy told me 15 pound. I mean, that seems kind of heavy, but I know that's what they use up there. King sacks. Okay. So are they like dime size, nickel size, quarter size king sacks? Because I mean, I have my own eggs. These ones are just tying up to help out the bait shop at my house. So these ones are a little bit smaller for the steelhead, but do I make them quarter size? How big do I gotta make them? You let me know. I'll take all the advice I can get. Going to bed? All right. Love you. Good night.
Have a good night.
You too. Love you, buddy. And besides my center pin and my spinning rod, I'll be taking my fly rod as well. So, dime size to nickel. Okay, so yeah, about the same thing I use here. I had somebody tell me today that they got to be big. I don't know. Like I said, I'm new to fishing up there. Hopefully I can meet some nice people up there. And I mean, I don't want all their secrets. I'd like to figure some stuff out for myself, but kind of give me a little bit of advice. You're definitely giving me some advice, and I appreciate that. I don't want to feel like the redheaded stepchild when I go up there and just kind of stand there like, what do I do? You have any recommendation on like what pound test line, or if I use my fly rod, like what pound test leader I should use? Hey, we got 6 people watching. Cool. Anybody on here that's watching Fish for Kings before? Kind of rookie to this. Streams had very little kings, lots of browns. People in the streams are using 8 to 12 pound leaders. Okay. Yeah, I knew I was kind of late on the salmon. They're gonna be zombies by the time I get there next week. I knew I was late. I wanted to come earlier. Things just didn't work out. Next year, I'm still gonna come up. Either way, so I have the opportunity of giant brown to be awesome. Especially you said, what did you say? 6 brown trout? We don't catch browns very often here in Erie. I mean, we catch them. Don't get me wrong, we catch browns, but not in crazy numbers like they do up there. Eight to 12 pound line. Okay, I remember that. It's not bad. Very little kings. It's a bummer. Hopefully I can at least get into one. That's all I'm asking, just one. I did hear though that they need rain up there too. So I joined this page on Facebook. I think it's like Burt Dame Fishing or something like that. The guys on there have been saying the same thing, that there's a lot of brown trout that came in, so that's pretty cool. I guess basically I'm going up for a king, hopefully. Brown trout, steelhead, whatever bites. But I guess I'm also just trying to go up and scout, and get a little bit used to my surroundings up there, in hopes that next year I'm kind of a little more prepared. They had very little rain. The Kings are waiting to go. Oh, so they're all waiting down at the mouse. Hopefully they'll get some rain this weekend and get a push of them. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm kind of just trying to go up and scout, try to figure some things out, and make a plan a little bit earlier next year. Maybe get a couple people to go. Be kind of cool. We have a group of guys here in Erie. They go fish the Niagara River for kings. That sounds like I deliver up to Niagara Falls every Thursday, so that's where I'll be going. 5 in the morning, go up there, deliver, and drive back to Erie all in one day. And I see a lot of cars pulled over, and they walk down those paths and fish the Niagara. See a lot of people fishing that power dam down there on the Niagara. These guys are nuts. They stand on like the side of the cliff. But yeah, either way, I'm excited to go up. Excited to go up to Burt. Might touch the Oak while I'm up there. Depends if we stay up there for 2 days or not. Fold the seats down in the SUV or sleep in there, or see if we can find a motel if they're not all booked. Lucky Dave, if you're still watching, is there any bait and tackle shops up there that are like kind of close to Burt? I mean, I can look it up on Google, but I didn't know if there was multiple. If you had any recommendations or anything like that. Lots of brown, some salmon. I would enjoy catching a nice brown. I kind of caught, I don't want to say a rare brown for our area here in Erie, PA, but this past spring when I was perch fishing in the marina, I caught a 13-pound brown on a 32nd ounce jig head in a white plastic. I don't know what I did with it. I used to have it right here on my shelf. I'm not sure what I did with it. But yeah, I had caught a 13-pound brown. And I let it go. I got scolded by a lot of people for letting that fish go. A lot of people were not happy, but what am I going to do with it? So yeah, took pictures, got measurements. I'm going to be getting a replica mount done of it. It's a nice thing about replica mounts. All you need is a good picture, length, girth, and that's it. I usually fish elk. That's my favorite stream. There's some fish in elk. I was there last Wednesday. I had the day off. Had an appointment. After my appointment, we went out and fished elk. It was packed. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was packed with people. I mean, there was definitely fish there. I'm not gonna lie to you. They need flow out there as well. But there's definitely fish. If we get some rain this weekend, they'll probably be up past Lake City. If you're familiar with that town right there, Fisherman's Park, they'll be up past there because there's already a couple lingering up there near that Fisherman's Park. So we get some rain, they'll be on the move because there's a good amount of fish down towards the campground down there. and they'll be on the move. I'm from Butler. Oh, you're from Butler. My buddy that was just commenting up here, Hooked Outdoors. He's from Butler. I think he's still, pretty sure he still lives in Butler. Okay, so yeah, you're not that far from me whatsoever. Only probably about an hour and a half. Who knows? You see me on a stream this year, make sure you say hi. I usually fish the east side of the county, the mile streams as we call them. But every once in a while I do make my way out to elk. I like to fish elk later in the season when the fish are up higher, towards 79. That's when I like to fish elk. But yeah, for sure. That's pretty cool. You don't live far at all. Alright. Probably gonna run this for about another 15 minutes and I'm gonna hop off. So I go get ready for bed. Gotta be to work at 5 a.m. And then make an hour and 15-minute drive to my first stop. I've already mentioned it a couple times. I don't know how many people are still tuning in from earlier, or how many people just tuned in. I do have a Facebook page now. It's the same name as it is on YouTube. So if you go to Facebook, you go to search bar and you type in Tightline Fanatic, you'll find the page there. I'm planning on. So there's a guy that lives in PA, a little south of me, a little more south of you, Lucky Dave, down near Pittsburgh. He makes custom floats. I just put in an order, I don't know, Sunday I think it was, for some custom floats, and they look sick. And this guy can do any color, any design. He made some that had a Twisted Tea logo on them. I mean, this guy is phenomenal. You guys can check him out on Facebook too. Duckin' Down, DUCKN, Duckin' Down Floats. Check him out. He posts pictures of all the floats that he makes. I mean, he makes some crazy stuff. So I made an order with him the other day for some personal floats. But I'm thinking here, I don't know, once the steelhead season really gets kicked off, probably maybe first, second week of November, I'm going to be doing a giveaway on my Facebook. I'm going to pay for an order of 6 floats from him. I'll pay for the shipping. And once I figure out who the winner is, you'll just get in contact with him. I'll pay for it. He'll ship them right to you. So, but that's coming probably, like I said, probably beginning, middle of November. So if you guys go follow the Facebook page, when the time comes, you get entered for that. I'll probably end up doing like a video or something. I have to get up at 3:30 a.m. I work in Pittsburgh. I have an hour drive. Oof. Yeah, I've delivered down in Pittsburgh a couple times. We have a yard in Cranberry and we have a yard in Uniontown for our trucks. Yeah, Pittsburgh's not my forte. I'm going to tell you that. Trying to drive even though it's only a 28-foot trailer, but trying to drive a tractor and a semi and a 28-foot trailer in downtown Pittsburgh, miserable. Absolutely miserable. But after this video is over, I'll go to the Duck and Downs Floats, his Facebook page, and I'll copy a link and I'll post it down in the description. So if anybody wants to check him out, he's not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by him. And I've been following his page for a little while, but I finally just made an order myself. But anybody wants to check his stuff out, like I said, after this video is over, I'll go back and I'll edit the description and I'll post his link down in the description so people can go check him out. Good guy. Got a really quick turnaround. Honestly, he told me like 2 weeks. 2 weeks for custom painted floats. I mean, that's pretty quick. I'm sure it varies a little bit, you know, depending on how many orders he's got coming in, but I'd say I started following him end of Steelhead season last year, and I mean, this guy has been pumping these orders out like crazy. When I post it, if you guys do go check him out, like I said, I don't work with him at all, but if you guys decide to place an order, let him know that you found out from my video. My brother wants me to get a center pin. It looks tricky. So, I'm not gonna lie to you. At first, it was tricky, and it's not the fishing aspect of it, like setting it up and stuff like that, because you basically almost just set it up pretty close to how you would set up like a spinning rod. The only thing that really is different is what they call a shot line. I don't know. I probably don't set it up the way other people do, but I still catch fish on mine. Honestly, the hardest part about me when I started center pinning was learning how to cast. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a minute. I watched countless YouTube videos. Danny Colville from Colville Outfitters up in Hamburg, New York, he's got a video, a pretty lengthy video too. It's not super long, but he goes in depth, you know, and showing you how to Wallace cast, how to do the side cast. I'm not gonna lie, it was tricky at first, but I got the hang of it now, and I like it. I don't have a problem with it. It's like one of those things. It's like you're kind of nervous, and when you start, to be honest with you, do not go buy one of these $700-800 center pin reels, this $400 rod. It's really not needed to be. You can go to Fish USA, you can get an Akuma Aventa combo for like $250. And to be honest, if you check on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that, you can probably find them cheaper. I mean, I just sold my Akuma Aventa reel for $100. And that reel is like almost $200 brand new. It's like I said, it's not. How do I put this? It's not an expensive reel, but it's not, you know, junk. Basically, it was a good reel to me. I just ended up making a trade with my buddy and getting a different reel. Ended up getting the Akuma Raw 2, which is still it's on a cheaper end, like, I don't know, 200 some bucks, but I don't know, I like it. It was a little tricky at first, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, but once you get the hang of it, once you're fishing elk, I seen you said you fish elk, when the water's up a little bit and it's got a stain to it, oh, you can't beat the center pin. I mean, You make those long drifts through those long runs. So, yeah, I love it. Honestly, I took mine out of my yard, my driveway, and messed around with it because you're gonna get backlash at first because there is no drag. It's just all free spool, so you gotta learn how to control the spool when you're casting with your hand. But I don't know if you like trying new things, and I would give it a try. The thing is like it's fishing gear. So the worst comes to it, you try it for a while and you're like, this isn't for me. All you gotta do is post it for sale. Somebody will buy it. Facebook Marketplace is a magical thing. It's the thing about fishing gear. You can always get some revenue back out of it. Yeah, it may not be as much as you paid for it, but you can always get something back out of it. If anybody watching yet hasn't, I would really appreciate it if you go like and subscribe. I'm trying to work my way up there. I think I'm at like 148 right now. I'm trying. Steelhead season's coming. We're gonna be pumping out some content. If it gets crazy enough, I might have enough stuff to do 2 videos a week, but until Mother Nature decides to rain on us. Like I said, I did get a lot of footage from today. Hoping to have that edited up and done by this weekend. If I can make some time. I shouldn't say if. I will make some time to get that done in between working and tying up these spawn sacks. I'm a muskie hound. I spend a lot on lures. You're a muskie guy, huh? That was my dad's bucket list fish to catch. All my childhood, he wanted to catch a muskie. And so my job, I was in our warehouse, and I ended up going and getting my CDL, which obviously gave me a pay raise. That was what I did for my dad, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. I surprised him for Christmas and got us a muskie charter. And over on Chautauqua Lake in New York, near Mayville, New York, there's a Chautauqua Lake over there. A lot of muskie in there. Really long lake. And so he was pretty stoked about that. We casted for, I think, like 2 hours in the morning. I had 1 follow. And then we resorted to trolling, and we caught 4. Both strides. Yeah, the one fish that I had follow me when we were casting in the morning, I mean, it came like 5 feet from the boat, and I didn't understand the whole figure 8 thing at first. I just like lifted the lure up, and it came up for it, disappeared, never came back. But then we resorted to trolling for the second half of the day, and we ended up catching 4. And the look on my dad's face was definitely got a spot in my heart. It was a good day. So after that, my dad was like hooked on muskie. So we ended up, at the time I had like a little 16-foot smoker craft. We ended up rigging it up with rod holders and stuff like that, and we were bound and determined to do it on our own. So we took the boat out to Chautauqua, and we started trolling at the Interstate 86 bridge that goes over the lake. I put the first rod out, the down rod. I put that out, and the second rod I let it out, I don't know, 15, 20 feet with the lures we were using. I clipped the planer board on it. I put the rod in the rod holder. I turned around and grabbed the next rod, and I hear the rod that I just put in the water was already going off. I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I let my dad reel that one in, and it ended up being like 45 inches, 44 and 3/4, something like that. It was a beautiful fish. So after that, we tried it, trolling up there a couple more times, nothing. So we ended up fishing one of the local lakes here. It's probably 20 minutes, half hour from Erie south, right off 79, Interstate 79. And all we did was cast. We didn't troll that day. All we did was cast. My dad ended up catching 3 muskie between, I'd say, low 30s to high 30s. And I ended up catching one muskie. Was 44 and 3/4, 19.5 inch girth, casting in some lily pads. At first, I thought I was stuck on a log, and I was like, and then it just like slowly started pulling. I was like, no, I got a fish. And it really didn't fight that crazy until it got to the side of the boat. And I pulled up. My dad went to net it. It was in the net. I reached down to pulled it too hard, literally snapped the hoop of my net right off. And my fiance got it all on video. This fish snapping the hoop of the net off. So it goes, it takes off 15 feet, comes back, and then my dad lands it with his hands. So I'm not super, I don't know, I'm not super like musky tech, like into it, but I do have some stuff. That 5-gallon, 4-gallon bucket with a bunch of my stuff in there. There's a guy the guy that we did the charter with. He makes musky lures. The company is called Fataz, F-A-T-A-Z, musky lures. So, I got the double blade spinners, stuff like that. Giant whopper ploppers. You got giant perch swim baits. So yeah, I got some stuff. I don't musky fish a lot, but it's definitely something I would like to do again, that's for sure. See, memories are the best. It doesn't have to be big. That's exactly it. Especially with my dad, I'm so glad that we did take pictures that day though, because memories do fade, but once you get pictures of it, pictures are priceless. They last a lifetime. Now it sounds kind of cliche, but it was a good time for sure. One thing I'm excited for ice fishing season. I'm a huge ice fisherman. If I could do it every day, all year long, I would. I'm gonna say it would I don't know. I love ice fishing, and I think I love it so much just because our ice season is so short that I kind of like, I can't wait for it to happen again. Fishing wise, if I had to pick my top 3, it would probably be walleye fishing would be number 1, hands down. I think then it would probably be steelhead fishing, and ice fishing would be a number 3. I mean, steelhead and ice fishing, they're pretty close second, but walleye fishing, that's me right there. We caught some really nice walleye this year. Ended up taking out my fiance's friend's husband on the beginning of our PA walleye season. It was like 2 weeks into the season, and ended up catching a 9.5 pounder. We caught quite a few 6s this year, quite a few 7s, a couple 8s, and a lot that honestly were in a 4 to 5 pound range. I mean, it took a little bit, it seemed like, for the big fish to show up, the migratory walleye from the Ohio waters. But once they showed up, it was definitely a good season. I did not get as much video as I probably should have, but I don't know. I like taking people out fishing. I know. Have a great night. See you on the rebound. Tight lines always. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sticking in. I appreciate it. Remember, you see me out there on the creek, say hi. Appreciate that a lot. Whew. Getting pretty tired of tying these. For everybody that's just tuning in, I tied 1,105 egg sacs last week. My fingers hurt. Had a callus on the end of my finger that ripped off, so now I got raw skin on my finger. Well, it's 8:30. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it. For like the 20th time, I'm gonna mention that I do have a Facebook page now for this. So if you guys want to like and follow that, I'm planning on second week in November probably. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway, some steelhead floats. I'm gonna get a hold of the guy that's making my custom order, and I'm gonna tell him that I'm gonna do a giveaway, and I'm gonna pay for the order. I'm gonna pay for the shipping. All you'll have to do is message him, tell him what you want, and he'll ship it to your door. So, but you gotta go like and follow the Facebook page, so you guys can stay tuned when that's going on. The Facebook page, go to the search bar, type in Tightline Fanatic, same name as it appears here on YouTube. But thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna try to do a live video a week, if not more. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I go live. You can join me on here. So until then, tight lines everybody. We'll see you later.